man, it is Split the Difference podcast again, and I am one half of the difference, Rich Rocky.
Just call me Pops.
Hey, man, and we appreciate y'all for tuning in for yet another hot discussion with us, man. And today, man, it's a good one, man. Being that baseball is just now kicking up, the NFL draft is right around the corner, and the NBA Finals, man. We got the FIFA going on. Today, the hot topic is going to be which generation produces the best athletes, or should I say produce the best athletes, since the older generation can, no longer, I guess, produce their athletes. Which generation produced or produces the best athletes? The new generation or the old generation? But before we dig in, man, I'm going to let Pops give y'all a little information on how y'all can continue to support us, man.
Follow us on Instagram, and that's Split the Difference 67. Also, follow and like us on YouTube. We also want to make you a subscriber on YouTube. We're getting a lot of likes, but we need the people to go ahead and subscribe, and that's YouTube, subscribe. That's YouTube at Split the Difference 67, all in one word. And Facebook, of course, a lot of you already have that, and that's Facebook, Split the Difference 67.
Hey, man, we about to get into it, man.
Rocky?
Once again, man, we are talking about which generation produced the best athletes. Is it the newer generation or the older generation? And another reason we want to talk about sports is because we know sports is like a universal thing to bring people together. Like, no matter which age, no matter which gender, it doesn't matter which race, anything. Sports is one thing that I think we can all agree that if we're in a sports venue at a sports event, we're friends. And even if we're enemies rooting for a different team, we're still friends in a way. So that's why we said, let's go ahead and do sports. And to give y'all a little icebreaker today, I do have a new generation versus an old generation type topic. So LeBron James, and this just happened last night, which I consider a new generational player. LeBron James went out for pregame warmups with no shirt. Now, I go to a lot of Hawks games. I got plugins with the Hawks. I kind of work with them. I'm a member with the Hawks, and I go to a lot of games.
I want did y'all clip that back up? These people got to see this, and make sure we had it on camera, because I was looking here and I didn't see it, and I should see everything that's on the camera. And just give me a little bit more wide shoot, but put that on whatever camera that is, camera 4, I think it is. That clip.
I'm already hearing Pop's dance, and
Show this clip.
Y'all watch this.
Tonight, LeBron James going to play the game like this. Shirts and skins is what they're doing.
No shirt.
I just totally 100% object to this. And if I was the GM or coach, I would never let one of my players walk out on the floor looking like this.
Oh, boy.
And you did hear someone say, I would never let my players walk out on the court looking like this. That is NBA legend Isaiah Thomas. And I'm going to have to say, Isaiah Thomas, you are absolutely incorrect. Come on, bro. The dude is just warming up, bro. Golly, let the man go out there and shoot. I mean, I go to plenty of Hawks games. If I seen Trae Young come out there with no shirt, yeah, it'd be a little different. But come on, bro. It's a basketball game. Warming up means he's trying to do enough agility things and get his body pumped to the point where he breaks a sweat and warm up. So without having all these layers of clothes on, he wants to naturally break a sweat. LeBron James, congratulations. You represented the new generation. If they don't like it, you're warming up. What do you think, Pop?
I think, Isaiah Thomas, you're absolutely correct. That's just ludicrous, man. I don't understand, and I try to be with you on a lot of these issues, but this is crazy. I don't understand. You always talk, your biggest thing is about, go ahead.
Let me put it in context. Y'all acting like the arena is filled up. This is not the real warm-up. This is the warm-up that happens 75 minutes before the game. So the players get there probably like 4 or 5 hours before the game. They have the opportunity to go out and do their own individual warm-ups with their individual trainers and coaches prior to them doing the team warm-up, which happens 25 minutes before the game. Now, the only people that's in the arena 75 minutes before the game are owners, ticket holders, nobody.
Wait,
The population's not in the arena.
wait a
yet.
minute. Wait a minute. I beg to differ. You and your mom are Hawks season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Sometimes they let you guys into the arena while the people are out there warming up. So there are people there that I don't think that was right, man. I'm with Isaiah Thomas, man. It's another situation where we once again have started lowering the standards. Hey, why are you warm? You're not gonna be able to play like that. So if you warm up like that, that doesn't not guarantee you're gonna have that same feeling when you start the game. When did this start happening, man? I think this man just have gotten to the point where he's at the place in his life he really don't care anymore. That's why I look for the response that he threw out to Isaiah Thomas. He's like, at this point in my life, there's no need for me to even combat it. He don't care no more, man. That's why he's just doing crazy stuff.
I mean, ain't no need to come back because he did what he did. I mean,
so you mean to tell me
up,
you agree with it in the warm-ups?
if man, I don't have no problem with it. I don't have a problem with that. I honestly don't have no problem.
Now let me say there was no harm, no foul. I get that. I get that. But I think what happens here is when you start allowing certain things to happen, those small things start getting big. Like they say, you give a man a rope, he might want to be a cowboy. So you have to have standards, and I think they start letting them down. But
Okay. All right, I agree, Pop. That's just the icebreaker. We not gonna argue about that. Now we just wanted to get the ice broken. But with that being said, man, we're gonna transition into the topic. Which generation do you feel produce the best athletes? The newer generation or the older generation?
well, I am not too apt to say who produced the best athletes.
I got you.
But I know who produced the toughest.
Ah, got you. All right.
My generation, the Jordans, Jabbar, the Irwins, the Pippins, the Nash, the Birds, these guys still play basketball if they got a scratch on their hand.
And guess what? That was gonna be one of my points. So let me go ahead and switch it around and come back at
Okay.
you. You saying that we had a better athletes, y'all were just gladiators. We're more elite. If you look at what these athletes are doing now, over the last 7 years in the NFL Combine, the 40-yard has decreased. The 40 time has decreased. The 40 time has decreased.
Okay.
The broad jump has decreased. The vert has decreased. Now I didn't look at the NBA because we know they some freakish athletes. But if you look at how elusive the athlete has become, no fault of the older generation's own, but to the point of our topic, who's the better athletes? We're better athletes. Now, I'll give you what you just said. Y'all were dogs and better gladiators. And y'all even had athletes in y'all time, but the majority of the generation of the older were just gladiators. You look at the millennials, these young dudes are elusive. They're electric. When I see some of these young guys, these little kids on Instagram, I'm like, okay, the moves are not fully developed, but you like, okay, if this young man keep doing that every day after school, the electricity he'll have when he's 19, 20, Barry Sanders and Bo Jackson. Sorry.
Wait.
Take a
I
back
agree with
seat.
you. I agree with you.
Take a
Now
back
you
seat.
said my generation were gladiators, and the generation now is what?
More finesse, more athletic.
Yeah.
Just because you're a gladiator, I won't say you're athletic.
But here's my stance. Gladiators are made different. Gladiators, your athlete win battles, but gladiate win wars. These guys, Pippen, they were strategies. You guys don't know how to strategize, so the best thing for you to do is run to the fight and get in and get out as quick as possible. I think I might be able to put some of these older guys together, and if they could slow y'all game down, y'all would not win. That's why everybody's shooting 3 points. Nobody knows how to get to the hole anymore. We was talking about this the other day. I remember when I did play some basketball. Man, if you would have took
You played basketball.
yeah, middle school.
All right. I'm sorry, fans. New information I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pop.
Okay, well, forget me.
Right.
Say if I'm sitting on the sideline.
Yeah.
You can honestly say yourself when you play, this just happened.
Right.
You better not just go out there and start passing the ball out there and shooting 3 points. Gladiators had a plan and worked their way to the bowl.
Right. And I will say that, yeah.
There's no strategy in what you guys do. You get it, you bounce, you run to the hoop, and you pray to God you make it.
No, that's not true. It's just that we're so electric, and the coaches see that. So it's like, okay, my man's better than you. And even though y'all had those guys back then where, okay, I'm just physically stronger than this guy, like y'all had LT, I even give y'all Ray Lewis,
Hold on.
Ronnie Lott.
Yeah,
y'all had a lot of guys that were just, hey, I'm better than you.
Y'all just like race car drivers. You're very elusive, and you got to come to the pit after every run. Well, my gladiators, we can play a whole game without coming to the side. You fast guys, you got to run to the side. I watched a football game today, a football game. I forgot what you call this league. And the kicker just made a 50-yard, I wish I can remember, made a 50-yard kicker. And the way I forgot what this league is they playing football now.
UFL.
Yeah.
USFL.
Did you see the game today?
Mm-hmm.
The kicker came to the side.
Appreciate that.
The kicker came to the side, and he huffing and puffing. And the commentator said, I said, why is he huffing and puffing? He's just a damn kicker. I got so excited. Why in the hell you come out for one play and you huffing and puffing? Because you elusive. You're not a gladiator. You're elusive. You're fast. You guys cannot hold. I remember you when you was a kid. Your doctor told you these new athletes are not going to make it. They have no bone structure. They're elusive. They're elusive, but they're not made for long-term game. That's why they're retiring so early. They can't last 30 years. When you're 30 years old, you should be out.
Well, they did say you got it. They did say it's about 4 years for the newer athlete. It's about 3 now, and I think it's been around there floating 2 or 3 years. If you're an athlete in the top space,
you look at Bird, them, they had gray hair before they left. Y'all guys,
That's true. And I'll give you that. Y'all's generation is definitely a lot tougher, and that goes into my next point, which is what's coming from the top. Now I believe the coaches are taking what they have. Okay, let me see how to say this. Back then, we got on a team and we was gonna run what our coaches run. We ran the wishbone, so we had to man up and run the wishbone. We ran the power eye, so we had to run up and do the power eye. Now it's like what they're learning is the finesse. So they have no need to display the gladiator. What we're learning is and if you need me to, I'll put it in different sports contexts. But in football, they say the newer guys are getting softer because we're running all these motions, trying to get different angles on linebackers, trying to get different angles on safeties, which goes back also to what you said. That's a plan. Even though it might seem like a softer plan, it's an easier and better plan for me to showcase my elusive athletes. What do you say about that as far as the coaches playing a part on the success of this generation's athlete? Because I know you were a coach back then, too. You coached on some of my teams, and the way they coached us, totally different from the way these guys are coached, and you can definitely see it in the player.
Oh, yeah. You can't really, and I'm glad I don't do it anymore, you can't really, well, that's a whole nother subject by itself, because you can't really coach the kid now. There's so much going on with the parent. Like I told you the other day, I think the parents, and we're not going to get into that subject, but I think the parents are more into the game than the kids are,
right?
That who are on the field. It's hard to coach kids now because of that. Right. I think,
man, I thought of that. I promise you, I thought of that.
We don't have any well, we do have some, but it's very few players who really love the game.
Right.
When we were coaching, we might pull you by your helmet, but it's the only we were making you tougher because we knew out of love what was ahead of the game, because you wasn't getting scholarships back then. You really had to be good,
and that's why I'm glad I got the best of both worlds because, like you said, you were one of the parents who coached your son. We played on some hard coaching teams.
Oh yes, sir.
You seen some coaches snatch their son up, make their son run till they puke, and also they were able to display that on us. But you knew as a father, okay, that's out of love. That's gonna make my son better, even though you were on the coaching staff.
That's right.
That made us better, and I'm glad we got best of the both worlds. Even though I'm on the new athletic side, I wish that was part of the side that these newer athletes could bring. Because although they got the physical side, the mental side ain't there.
Yeah,
the mental side ain't there, and that's 90% of why a lot of these problems are going on with the newer athletes. They can't show how electric they are.
I don't know if they appear to be electric. I don't know if they have all what they're showing. It's what they're doing is limited. They're running fast, but they're not really taking care of their bodies. Nobody's really building them up from the inside. You know what I'm saying? We cared about bone structure. You guys are saying that some of you say, well, the athletes now are faster. Well, they should be. In my day, we wore pads. Y'all don't have nothing on. We had shoulder pads, we had butt pads, knee pads, and your knees could not be showing. I was watching the game with you now. I'm like, wait a minute. Do he have on any pads? So he's not carrying any weight, so he should be faster. And that's what the league is looking for. So everybody's trying to run the 440 in the quickest time, when in our day, in older days, it was based upon how strong you were. When they said fullback, it was a fullback.
That joker was full.
Joe, am I right?
That joker was
Joe's
full.
working on the back end. When we said fullback, you were afraid of a fullback because this joker was fat and nice. And when he come through the line, these little things they call them linebackers today were not linebackers then. When you said linebacker, this was a big dude who could whoop your you know what. So when I played on defense, I remember when I did play my first game, and the coach, I was a little skinny kid. He put me at nose guard. And that fullback came through there and turned me over, and I walked right off the field. No.
Yeah.
That was a fullback.
Because, back then people were.
They were powerful.
I'm talking about, and people were up to size. Like now, your outside linebacker, middle linebacker core might range from 225 to 250. Your free safety back in the day was 250.
Exactly.
Your free safety was 250.
So that's why I'm saying the game, people are trying to say that this generation is faster and quicker than that generation. No, they're not. The game has changed. The weight size have changed.
Perfect. And I'm going to transition into my last point.
Okay.
The rules. The rules simply makes it easier for us to be better. As a wide receiver, if I can lollygag across the middle knowing I can catch the ball, take 2 steps without getting hit, I'm going to catch it. Whereas when Randy Moss ran across that middle, he had to worry about Ed Reed finna knock his head off.
You're daggone right.
Or Ray Lewis finna knock his head off.
You're daggone right.
You could not just lollygag and catch the ball and just freelance across the middle. And I think that right there helped a lot of these receivers get to their 1,000-yard games. All these.
You used to be able to tear the head off a quarterback. Now you can't.
Touch him.
When I was in school, a quarterback had to play like he was in jail. Be cautious at all times.
Right.
Look around you. Don't get caught standing up there off the look. But now if you hit him, you get a flag. This ain't football y'all playing now. Y'all might as well put flags on.
It's bad. What you think? What do you think is? What do you think is the craziest rule change from when you coaching up until now that has made the game just totally just easy? And I'm gonna tell you what mine is.
I think one thing I don't really know the rules, but I see we were told if he if you're going up through that line and he ain't watching, knock his block off.
Yep, and you can't do that now.
You can't do it now. Knock his block off.
That.
What? I'm like, what?
Yeah, if a person is engaged with somebody within, I think it's the tackle box, then you can't hit. Like I remember our coaches used to tell us, hey, if somebody's standing him up and he's still up when you get there, you better clean his clock.
Clean his clock.
That's
Go
exactly
help.
What
you can't do that now. So, yeah, you ought to be faster. You ain't even got to worry about getting hit.
Yeah, hey, that's my whole point right there. Like, the rules have made it easier for these guys to be better. Technology have made it easier for these guys to get better for training. And this, I guess I can say this is my closing point. I believe that we're better because it was just naturally set up for us to, like we've been saying for 2 weeks in a row, evolve to be better. Science has gotten better for our trainers to train the generation better. The rules have gotten so lax, it's barely even football anymore. The experience, the muscle memory these guys are getting at a young age, it's like by the time they're in the pros, it's nonstop. Everything that they're doing is just like off the top. It's just, I feel like we're just better athletes because of those three main things right there. I don't know what you still feel after hearing me, but I mean, you could.
I would split the difference. I would split the difference on you. I would say that you guys, to one degree, well, I'm not going to say you're better. I think you guys are worse because of one thing.
I'm not even going to say you're better.
You guys are to me, y'all missing the main ingredient.
The mental.
The mental capacity is just not there. You're getting all this, but you don't know what to do with it. You know, we're just hearing crazy stories from guys who's making all this money. We were prepared more mentally. Now, and I'm seeing now the GPA thing have dropped for them to go to college.
2.0.
Man, we fought like
me.
buddy. I wish you could go back because it's some NIL money.
Yeah,
you was the first. Hey, you could have went to any college you want to. The only reason you didn't go because your grades weren't right. But man, we would be rich right now.
We'd be good. And I know I would have went and got me some NIL money from the local KFC, Chick-fil-A, some around the block.
You're probably on the news with the rest of the dummies because they doing crazy stuff when they get that money.
I wouldn't have been on no news, man. But we are missing the mental. On a serious note, to wrap it up, we're missing the mental. I know just happened last night. One thing I do wish these younger athletes would do, get your circle right. Take care of your mind and get your circle right. That's the only place we're lacking. Last night, we lost a guy, Kyron Lacey, my favorite college team, LSU, was supposed to be getting drafted in 2 weeks, supposed to be going in the top round, and last night they found him, harmed from a gunshot wound to himself. So take care of your mental, man. That's if y'all don't take anything from this show, forget which athletes are better.
I'm glad. I see we had somebody on the chat that agree with me. What are they saying? Did they say new school athletes are babies? You're right. Before he closed, I just wanted to say we did have a chat and somebody did agree with me. I need to get a hand clap for that. I agree. New school athletes are babies. That's what they are. I used to tell you, I'm like, your mom was like that. I'm like, when you was in high school, I'm like, dog, you got to go down there and breastfeed him at every halftime. He's in high school.
Come down there at halftime.
Well, I felt like it because anytime you got, give me my widescreen back. Anytime you got hurt, she was on the sideline. I'm like, dog, it's time to go down there and breastfeed her. I'm like, dog, let the man play football. If you got hit, she take off and run, jump over the band and get down there. I mean,
I guess there y'all go, split the difference, man. Hey, the only way to split it is breastfeed the newer athletes whenever they need breastfeeding. Split the difference, man. We appreciate y'all, and y'all send us topics. We will catch y'all next week.
Thank y'all.